heard House Bill 2160, and this morning we will take action on that bill. Mr. Reviser, if you'd give a brief of the bill to the committee and to the audience, please. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, House Bill 2160 is the bill to create the Kansas Municipal Employee Whistleblower Act, which is modeled after the current State Employee Whistleblower Act 75-2973. The new Municipal Employee Whistleblower Act would provide the same legal protections as are currently provided for state employees for reporting or disclosing unlawful or dangerous actions by the agency that they work for. The bill also uses the same definition of disciplinary action, so it's the actions of the employer taken adversely against the employee for reporting or disclosing that unlawful or dangerous conduct. The municipal employee bill does include a couple of additional protections for disclosing malfeasance or misappropriation of money or disclosing substantial or specific dangers to public health and safety. The local municipal employee act would also provide the employees with a direct cause of action to district court for violations of the act, whereas the state employee has the employee go through the civil service board that is available to state employees before filing an action in district court. It will go into effect on July 1st if enacted.
For discussion and possible amendments, could I hear a motion to adopt this bill? Vesix?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can I go back to a quick question for the reviser? My apologies for messing up.
Yes, that's fine. I didn't give time for questions. My apologies.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify that a lot of the testimony included complaints about coma cora. This bill has nothing to do with the cost or how long it takes or what it looks like. Nothing about coma cora, is that right?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the only references to the Open Records Act in the bill is that an employee can have disciplinary action taken against them if they disclose information that is exempt from disclosure under the Open Records Act. So if the information is confidential, privileged, and not subject to disclosure, and the employee violates their employer's policies by disclosing that information, then they can be disciplined in those instances.
And Representative Barth, you had a motion?
Yes, thanks, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do have a motion to approve and HB 2160 favorably out of committee.
Is there a second? Representative Sleegan-Stephen. And for discussion, are there amendments? There are one, correct? Thank you. And if everyone has a copy, Mr. Reviser, if you would explain what the amendment does if it would take place.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the amendment, the balloon amendment makes two changes to the bill. The first is to provide definitions there on page 1 for the terms malfeasance and misappropriation. These are common legal terms that appear at various points in state statute, but are not clearly defined by statute. They're rather defined more by case law. And so this amendment would take those understandings and put them into the statute so that it is clear that malfeasance means unlawful conduct committed by any member of the governing body of a municipality or any officer or other employee thereof. and that misappropriation means the unauthorized or unlawful expenditure or transfer of monies that are held by the municipality. The other amendment on page 2 is in lines 5 and 6, and you'll see the strike through. This is item number 5 in the list of things that the employee can do and that are protected actions by the employee. This last one was the employee would be protected from disciplinary action for disclosing a substantial and specific danger to public health or safety to any person, agency, or organization. I believe the understanding was that that action is covered up in paragraph 1 on page 1, line 29, in terms of allowing the employee to discuss operations of the municipality, including matters relating to public health, safety, and welfare with any member of the legislature or any auditing agency. And so the amendment would be to strike paragraph 5 on page 2 in lines 5 and 6.
All right. Are there any questions about the amendment? Representative Barth.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask the revisor a quick question.
Okay.
The definitions that you did write for malfeasance and misappropriation, are those based off of Black's Dictionary, or where did those definitions come from? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the definitions are generally lifted from legal definitions for those terms and have been slightly modified to fit the context and the purpose of this bill.
Thank you, sir.
Just a quick follow-up question. I did work with, I know we had concerns in the neutral testimony from the league and the counties. And I just want to verify, though, from the revisor's perspective, is there any concern with the terminology and just based off of some of the testimony that we've heard that would fall under the Whistleblowers Act? I just want to make sure we're not so narrowly defining it that it wouldn't provide protections to those individuals. If you wouldn't mind sharing that, that'd be great. Thanks.
Representative, if you have a concern about that, you could present an amendment. But if you're thinking he needs to refine it more, he's refining according to our requests. And so he's not trying to do our work for us, but if you want to respond to her requesting that question, that's fine. As to your thoughts on that.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm unclear as to the question, if it could be restated.
I just
Is
wanted to
it good
clarify,
enough, I guess?
I had talked, I just want to make sure everything's good, you know, to make sure the definitions are written in a way that would still be broad enough to help provide protections to, you know, whistleblowers based on some of the scenarios and the testimony that we've heard.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the definitions state that it is unlawful conduct or the unauthorized expenditure or transfer of monies that would be subject to reporting without disciplinary action. And these are well understood terms. Obviously, if a case arose in which there was a difference of opinion between the employee and the employer as to whether or not their actions were protected and it went to court, it would be largely a fact-based analysis, and the individual facts of the case would control whether or not malfeasance or misappropriation had actually occurred by the governing body. But this, I think, provides some guidance to both the employers and the employees as to what disclosures are protected.
Thanks, sir. All right. Is there a motion regarding this amendment?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I apologize for my voice. I'm not contagious. I'm over it, I think, but my voice, it sounds good. I move that when we consider this amendment, we move it favorably out of committee for passage.
It's been moved and seconded by Representative Blex and Representative Essex. And that's to adopt the amendment into the bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And we're back on the bill. Is there a motion on the bill? Representative Collins.
I make a motion, we pass the bill favorably.
Representative Barth. And we have a second. And is there further discussion on the bill before we work to pass this or to fail it? All in favor of passing this to the House, say aye. All opposed? Abstain, and it passes. That's our final action for today and for this half of this biennium. We will be back in business for a few bills from the Senate, and we'll also take care sometime maybe at the rail this week for minutes of the meeting that we'll approve. So watch for the minutes to come into you by email, and thank you for your good action this part of the session. It's been extremely peaceful. Let's keep it that way. And just one moment, there was I guess that's no longer an issue. She left. Okay. She's here? Okay, I can't see her. Representative Barth, would you introduce your guest?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have a guest that's in the audience today, so I would love for the committee to please welcome one of my constituents from House District 5, Courtney Sappington, Baldwin City resident. So welcome to committee today, Courtney.
It's not that we never get company, but it's nice to get company. Yeah. We have another announcement? Yes.
Thank you. I would like to introduce my county commissioner in the audience, also a good labor friend, Mike Kane, and with him is Luke Mohan. Thank you for coming.
And thank you all for being here, and this meeting is adjourned.